Within the ancient order of the Harbingers, every member knows two prophecies, two eventualities, one of peace and one of doom. Only one of these foretellings may prove true, but not even the gods know which. And so the Harbingers fight, seeking always to stand against the darkness and be heralds of the times of peace. Yet always the shadow lurks. Doom is waiting, biding its time, assured of its own inevitability, prowling like a great cat ready to strike, hanging from above like a blade on a thread. Doom, they tell themselves. Doom is coming, and only they may stop it. But to fight an enemy, you must know them. And so they recite the prophecy of doom.
I shall not see a world that will be dear to me. Summer without flowers, cows without milk, folk without conscience, warriors not brave.
Conquests without a king.
Woods without fruit, fishless seas. Multitudes of storms!
Bad judgments by old men, false precedents of the lawgivers. Forts barren of structures, hollow.
A stronghold coming from mistakes, a devastated time. An excess of lords, but too many homeless.
Joy in evil, covered in sorrow. Everyone a betrayer, each child a robber. Oh, evil time. Son will deceive father, daughter will deceive mother.
Ahoy and welcome everybody. Welcome to Harbingers, a Horizons Call spinoff featuring the darker side of Damaris, a world of infinite oceans, as we take a look at the goth kids, the Hot Topic crew with the Harbingers, a group of fate-bound warriors trying to prevent the end of the world over and over and over again. I am Derek Sword. I am your GM and your GC, your game master and your guiding compass for this game. I use he, him pronouns, but didn't say that already. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to have these lovely people who join me every week say more about themselves, but before that, I do want to jump in and say that this is a Sword and Key production. You can find all of Sword and Key stuff at beacons.ai/Sword and Key. You can find all of our links in one neat, nice place there. So if you're looking for our socials, right up at the top, that's BlueSky and Instagram. We also have links to our Discord. If you're looking for discount codes, we have a number of wonderful affiliates like Long Dog Dice for your perfect dice set. Use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase. That code, Sword and Key, for 10% off your first purchase, also works at Eldritch Foundry for custom minis. You can also use our affiliate link if you're doing 3D printing with them to get a discount for unlimited STL files for a 3-month subscription. If you are shopping with Hit Point Press, we have an affiliate link with them as well. And then I'm going to throw out Friday Afternoon Tea as well. I'm going to borrow LD's code for this one with code TheLadyDame, and that gets you 10% off your order there. All the details and everything again on beacons.ai/Sword and Key. And you can just click on the little boxes to get to the link that will pre-generate all of the discount codes for you. If you are looking to put your money towards a good cause, then we have a number of philanthropies that we are in support of at any time here at Sword and Key. This game in particular is raising money as an extension of our Pride Month campaign for the Trans Latina Coalition, the second A in Latina being the @ sign, which is a very important organization that, again, Harbingers will continue to support beyond Pride Month itself. So you can donate at any time and add some incentives to our game. I think that's the main stuff for the links right up at the top. So let's go ahead and go around, have these lovely people say more about themselves. Abhishek, if you don't mind starting us out.
I'm muted. Hi, everyone. My name is Abhishek Matange. I use he, him pronouns. Sorry. I will be playing Anubia, our lovely Anubite warrior of the living weapon monk. She had a not so great time with the whole blood collection thing, so we'll see how that gets her now.
That's true. That's true. A not so good time was had by many for sure. But for our next person, Alex, I don't know if Des had a good time or not. So say more, please.
Hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I am playing Desiree, the Echo Knight fighter, who had a delightful, wonderful, great time last session and is looking forward to carrying that through into this session.
That's what I was worried about, is that Des actually had a fantastic time. Next up is Rack.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Rakolai, or Rakolai, no preference on how you pronounce it. I'm just glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming by. Tonight I'll be reprising my role as everyone's favorite Kenku, hailing from somewhere between the anime t-shirts and the titty mugs. It's Croak, your resident ranger rogue.
It's way too appropriate, unfortunately. Next up is LD.
I don't know how to follow titty mugs, to be honest. Was not prepared. Hi everybody.
If anyone could, it's you.
Well, hi everybody. I'm LD, or Lady Dame. I am playing Fiach of the Rowan, the slutty harpy, and she had a great time. Honestly, if she can't make somebody uncomfortable with like excessive flirting, then she has not been doing her job properly. It's almost as if she's a harpy.
Almost. Special thank you to LD for doing the production work for this game. And then last but absolutely not least, we have Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena, and I know how to unmute myself. I'm playing Saskia Kavirense, our she/her Air Genasi paladin, who Renwick is very lucky is not allergic to peanuts. She had a mid time. Neither here nor there.
Yes, a middling time was had by some as well. Fantastic. Again, thank you to this wonderful cast. Thank you to you for joining us. Thank you to those of you who have been able to donate already. Again, remember those donations go to the Trans-Latina Coalition, and those donations can happen at any time. Let's see. Gena, you have the recap this week. Actually, that was the thing I was trying to vamp, no pun intended. Special thank you to Michael. That was what I was trying to remember. Michael Sandoval for doing the artwork for this game. So you can see that artwork on stream as well as in all of our promotional materials. Check out all of his stuff, his socials, as well as there's a dedicated art channel on the Sword and Key Discord. It's MIKYLSANDVOAL. So check out his stuff. All right. That out of the way. Gena, you have the recap. Whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Okay, so we are still on Esperanza. We have not killed any vampires yet. We are still looking for our Haruspecs, Moira. So Fiach and Croak, who were going off to investigate the woods, had come back to the inn so that we could all talk to so we can get our taxes collected. The innkeeper said that he does not want the tax collectors coming to his inn for cagey reasons. And we were told to meet the tax collectors at the fountain. We did so, which the town does not seem particularly thrilled about this in a way that is not regular tax collecting, which makes sense since we're paying in blood here, very literally. Mr. Ham, who was also kicked out of the inn with us, told to go get his taxes collected because he is severely back owed. He refused to pay, and he got horrifically dragged off. But other than that, it was fairly uneventful, at least as far as events go. Desiree had managed to get a conversation with Cadigan, our head tax collector, who we did confirm is a vampire. And she floated the little plan that she wants to be a vampire too. And Cadigan initially gently turned her down, not because he's against the idea, but because it's not his decision to make. But then ultimately he decided that he would speak to his lord and arrange a meeting tomorrow. So, at around tax collection time tomorrow, I believe, he's going to come into town to guide us up to the castle to speak to his lord. After that, we'd all gone back to the Owlite Inn where Fiach is able to scry on Mr. Ham and Lady Spite using items that Croak had collected, Ham's blood from around in the area, and a string of rubies that Fiach had requested off Lady Spite somewhere. And doing so, she had seen a mysterious voice speak to Mr. Ham, but the vision had cut out before we could see who it is. And then she saw Lady Spite and Cadigan having conversation, where Lady Spite mostly teased Cadigan for having, I think, grown estranged from their lord, if I recall correctly. And then they had set off to feed on our kobold friends. Very worrisome, and that is currently where we're at the end of that vision.
Very well done. Yes, so let's pick up the night of. Just as a reminder, Saskia was able to set an alarm spell. You all did some scrying. So before bedding down for the night, and you all do have 3 separate rooms at this point. So if I remember right, it is Anubia and Desiree. And then in a separate room, there is Croak and Fia. And then in the third room, that would be Renwick and Saskia. So is there anything anyone wanted to achieve before going to bed for the evening? Or any weird trance stuff like elves have that I need to be aware of for your rest time?
Well,
or any watches you wanted to place, anything like that?
I have something, but if somebody else wants to go first, I wouldn't mind saving what I've got.
I do want to do a quick checkup on Renwick, because last time I looked at him, which I believe was the previous night, he had a bunch of really strange things that were worrisome, like his veins were kind of weird, and his pupils dilate in a delayed way. I'm going to frame it as like just an ongoing, since we only found him a couple ongoing thing, especially with the blood draw and everything, and see if anything has changed or if like he's still doing that.
Sure. Go ahead and do a medicine check.
Okay. It's actually good. 23.
Great. Okay. What I would say then with a 23, because that's pretty significant as far as things go, is that Renwick has not made any significant changes one way or another. And that might be a good thing in the sense that there is at least some sort of stability to what otherwise seems like instability. But I think what you as a medical and magical practitioner are picking up on is that things are the same in an uncomfortable sort of way. In the way that his heartbeat is always the same pace. It's almost like if a heartbeat was a recording.
So weird.
And there is a little squish to the veins. There's a little like the delay in the pupillation and the pupillary response still happens. Let's see. I'm trying to think of like magical responses to this. Say you would pass magical light over. That's where you're getting the pupillary response. You might even shine it like a little bit through his hair at that point, and for just a moment, it almost seems like the hair is like clear, like you would almost see almost like polar bear hair in a certain way, where it's like reflecting the light, refracting the light in a way. There's something weird about this guy.
Like, does he seem like nervous or anything? Like when I'm looking at him, or like does it's just
I think that's maybe the thing that, you again as a medical practitioner, you might know that some people get weird around doctors and some people's pulse tends to quicken. That if, in the real world, if you go to the doctor, doctors typically try to account for the fact that your blood pressure and your heart rate might be a little more accelerated because some people are made uncomfortable by that. He's too calm about it. Again, the pulse is so steady. Everything about him is just so for the impression that he gives of this very nervous person. Every physiological response about him shows that this is a very calm person that is being presented before you.
okay, that's so weird. I think while I'm doing it, to try and not give off the vibe that I'm like, to try and give off the vibe that this is just routine, or like I'm not necessarily looking for anything. I'm just like I'm actually doing small talk for once. I'm like, yeah, so what exactly, you said you were part of the Golden Flames? Like,
Yes,
what did
yes.
like what did you like do they have like specialties or something? I know you're looking for like a knighthood or something, but
Yes, I was looking for a knighthood. I joined the Golden Flame when I was a boy, and I was orphaned, and so a holy order dedicated to the eradication of evil creatures of the night seemed better than the streets or an orphanage at that point. Not that I necessarily had much of a choice, but they fed me and clothed me, and they trained me and taught me how to hunt the horrors that stalk the shadows. Apparently, their training was lacking in some areas. But hindsight, again, not. Anyway,
did you have like a specialty? Do you have any like magical aptitude, like a sword, or you're like a crossbow kind of guy?
I could fire a light crossbow with some success, and I was trained in the mace and the short sword. I was going to work my way up as I worked towards my knighthood to some of the more intense weaponry. I was very much hoping to use a war pick at some point, or perhaps even a lance, but... Well, that door's not totally closed, it seems.
Nope. Plenty of war pick type organizations out there, so...
The Golden Flame is not gone. There's still some members there, I'm sure. We wouldn't send our entire contingent. Sure, they're planning their next assault here shortly.
I'm sure. Well, you are in good health, considering out at sea for however long that was, so.
Yes, you've taken very good care of me. I very much appreciate the looking after that you've given me.
It is my job, after all. Well, please do not eat in the bed anymore. Your bed.
Oh, yes.
And flicking them across the room, please.
Yes.
Thank
That's fair. Yes. Apologies. You all were in that room for some time. Is there... And I don't have to be made aware of anything that you all are planning. You all have your own aptitudes and whatnot, but is there anything that I should know? Anything I can be of assistance with?
I think we are still figuring out. Desade has a really complicated plan, so I think we're mostly on the lookout and being cautious and taking her lead on things. So I would simply stay close and don't go poking any sticks in anything.
No, I don't think I'm a somnambulist, but I suppose, is it all right if I use the water closet in the night? I believe it's downstairs.
I mean, it would not be healthy for me to stop. What am I going to do? How am I going to stop you?
I suppose I could go off the balcony, but I don't think anyone wants to see that.
Yeah, no, don't do that, please. Well,
All right.
good night.
And to you. He goes to lie in the bed, turns to face away from you. Anything anyone else wanted to do?
Before I go to rest, I will speak with Fia briefly. Fia, you mentioned you saw the moon in the reflection of that vision, yes?
I saw them. Yes, I did. Yes, sorry. Yes, there's the accent. Yes.
And it was in the water under a cavern. Is there any chance we could maybe look at the moon and tell where this cavern might be?
Probably, actually. I don't know if I have that sort of triangulation ability, but I think we could put our heads together, certainly.
We have time. Want to give it a try?
Absolutely. Should we get, like, Croak and... I mean, we're in...
Maybe. Croak might be better at this sort of thing.
Croak is sitting there.
Yeah. It's true, if you're in my room.
Feet not even touching the ground, just patting on the knees. Yeah.
Croak,
yeah,
do you think you can help out with this? It's been a minute since I can draw out exactly what I saw. Sketch something out.
Croak will nod and then approach I'm assuming you're just like sitting around a table.
Mm-hmm. And do we have...
I was just going to ask Derek, can we maybe look out the window, see the moon, and then give it a survival check?
You can go to the balcony. You can take a look at where the moon is in the sky. You could even go up to the roof if you wanted adequate vantage point, but I think the balcony should be decent enough.
And we've got a map of the island or a map of the town. Did we pick something up like that when we came in, or do we just... I mean, we can also sort of like sketch the streets that we know from memory too, to sort of to...
Croak will produce the map that he drew while on the ship and from the aerial view that he scouted out.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that is what you have.
I was like, I remember there's a map somewhere.
Okay. Going out to the balcony, the three of you. Mm-hmm. This is going to be Fia doing a survival check with advantage. Does either Desiree or Croak have proficiency in survival?
I do.
Great. So let's do that with advantage. And what's your modifier, Rack?
My modifier for survival is a +9.
Great. So Fia, let's do with advantage +4. We'll do essentially half of Croak's modifier.
Okay. All right. Well, it's a good thing that was at advantage. So that's +4. It will bring us to 19.
Great. You look up in the night sky and you can see where the moon is. It's not full. It's nearing full, which helps to illuminate it all the more. And a lot of the storm clouds have passed at this point. And you can see it cuts this light down onto the town of Esperanza. It's diminished somewhat by the cliff face that you know that Castle Hollowvow sits atop. However, you can still see it illuminating a little bit onto the water far out into the bay. You can see that it is far off towards the west at this point. And if you were to triangulate what you saw in your vision to now, not that much time really having passed, you would reason that whatever that cavern was that you saw probably feeds out somewhere around the western edge of this island. And it wasn't super clear. You didn't see the entire moon. It wasn't this gaping maw of a cavern face, of a cave mouth. This was obfuscated. But you saw the moon. You can see it now. Pinpointing exactly on a map, a little more difficult. But you have a pretty good idea that if you were to keep an eye out and follow the western outer rim of this island, if you were canny enough, you might find a cave entrance.
I will relay that as I have thought about it. Is this something that we think... Is this in replacing the idea of you becoming one of the tax collectors, Desiree, or is this in addition to?
I'm not sure yet. They are expecting me, and disappearing might raise more questions than are worth opening up right now.
Mm-hmm.
It could be an escape route.
Mm-hmm.
If we are not able to stay in the castle for long, it could be an entrance back in, should we be refused?
Right.
Or should we be given what we ask for and then sent on our way? Speaking of, I don't have too clear a plan for what happens once we get inside. Do you have any ideas?
Oh. Other than try and find Moira first, and then cause a lot of destruction. But that's all I have. I feel like we need it. I would like Anubia and Saskia to weigh in on this particular aspect of it.
I agree. Do you want to get them, have that conversation now?
Yes, I think so.
I will go pop into the other rooms and get Anubia, Saskia, not Renwick, for an additional conversation real quick.
No, we just sent everybody to bed, but...
Classic.
Yeah.
Fiach and I were talking about what happens once we get in the castle. We have a way in now. We've all been invited. I don't know what comes after that.
I mean, we grab Moira and we run like hell.
Yeah, I believe priority one should be to find Moira and secure her safety.
I agree. It's a large place, though. Do we have a way to find her?
That is a good question.
I mean, the only lead I think we have as to where she might be is where they took Mr. Ham down into the basement, I followed him in the scry to where they took him, right? Where I saw a little bit of the path from when he entered the castle.
Yes.
Yeah,
So yes, you would have seen a decent idea of where they took him, but a lot of it was very much obfuscated by darkness or dim light, especially towards the end there. But you do know that they took him down, so to lower levels.
Right, but I would have an idea of how to get to that first set of lower levels. or at least
Yeah, rough idea.
A rough idea, anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's the only lead that I've got is that which may be kind of tricky unless if they're watching. It might be kind of tricky if they're watching us, but you know, if we're able to. If Desidet's able to cause some distraction or distract them long enough, or
I would have a sense of actually phrase like this. Would I have a sense of, because Moira is a Haruspex, would I have any sense of any typical items that a Haruspex would have on them?
Yeah, I mean, you would know that they would have scrying tools, a variety of scrying tools they would typically carry with them. Probably a religious symbol of the Morrigan, or at least of the Triskelion, that the Harbingers use. Yeah, I think those would be the two guaranteed things. Maybe a ceremonial dagger is often carried by Haruspex as well. Blood magic being part of it.
I can find objects. I can't find creatures. But I wouldn't be sure that she still has all of her items on her. But I could find her items.
be worth a shot.
It would be.
Croak will nod and then hold up the string of rubies and then point to his eyes, point to the rubies, and then point to Fiach. Kind of to imply that once we find those items, we can use them to scry on.
That is true.
Absolutely, yes.
Excellent point.
If they're not on her already, absolutely.
If they're not on her, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that would.
I was like, theoretically, I could also try and look for Moira myself now, but I don't honestly know. I don't know how well Fiach would know Moira, and also, I can't say that it would be too successful of a scry, and I can't guarantee that she's not protected in some way.
Yeah.
And you're limited in how often you can scry, right?
On one person, yes. I am limited by a couple of things with the scries, yes.
Maybe let's wait until we have a
Mm-hmm.
more secure chance of getting it right then.
Yeah, I can only scry on a person, try and scry once a day, essentially. So, I think
that's the best I got.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good. That's not nothing.
That's a solid plan.
Yeah.
Anubia? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to remark that we were explicitly told that killing our coterie here is not something we've been explicitly told not to go out of our way.
Right. Yes, that. We definitely are listening to that. 100%.
100%.
Yeah.
It's
Totally.
not a priority, but should it occur? Oh no.
We're making it sound like we could kill vampires by accident.
I mean, I'd imagine they'd want to, if they find us, they want to put up a fight. It's only natural that we defend ourselves against them.
Of course. See, Saskia? In defense, right.
Sure.
Anubia, do you have any thoughts?
I believe you all have there's been a lot on my mind recently, but you all have accurately summed up what I also was thinking about in regards to finding Moira. However, if you do need someone to create a distraction, I wouldn't mind volunteering for that role.
Well, perhaps it would make sense if you stuck close to Desiree in whatever this tax collector business is. And the two of you set the distraction, or, try and occupy our friends. Well,
Let's see what I can do.
Croak, Saskia, and I try and locate Moira, perhaps.
Sounds
A
like
viable plan. Viable plan.
Croak, upon hearing that Anubia has had a lot on her mind, will look to Anubia, tap his fingers to his head, and then touch his beak, and then make a gesture to the rest of the group.
I'm still sorting out a lot of my thoughts at the moment, Croak, but once they are, I will explain, but I just need some time.
Croak will nod.
Well,
Gena, remind me with the alarm spell, was that the hallway around your doors, or did you cast it multiple times for each room?
I cast it multiple times for each room, putting a perimeter across the entire room. So doors,
Gotcha.
windows.
Gotcha. Okay. You would get a mental alarm that Renwick has left the area.
I'm going to say to the rest, I need to check on my alarms real quick. Renwick has left the room, and I will...
would you like company?
No, I think it's... I'll be very loud if I do. I assume we're in the common area or something?
I think we're in Croak and Mai's room.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will just poke my head out into the hallway, see if I see him.
Yeah, you do, and your head hits him in the chest as he's standing right there at the door.
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry. You would. I woke up and you weren't there, and I was worried because I thought we were all going to sleep. But I see you're having a meeting, so I apologize.
Yes.
I will go back.
Yes. I am like still visibly in like my nightgown and everything too, so I'm trying to look as like sleepily annoyed as possible.
Yes, sorry.
Yes.
Not trying to be clingy or anything, just had everybody die around me, So
Everything is I am made of very stern stuff, Renwick.
I am not.
Just relax, go to bed. It's very late. We'll probably up real early in the morning. Good night.
Yes. And you get an alarm as he passes back into the area, the space. I believe that's how it works.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll close the door. It's a little clingy.
A little bit. Sweet, really.
I do have some concerns. Because of the state that we found him in, I've been naturally doing a routine on him, and everything is a little... He's a very nervous disposition, I'm sure we've all noticed, but his heart rate is unnaturally calm. Like, Anubia heart rate calm.
That is a little surprising.
And there's a lot of other strange things, like his pupils don't exactly respond to light at a speed that I expect, and all sorts of things. I don't know what to make of it.
And you haven't gotten any sense of Fiach sort of mimics Croak's movement.
He's currently passing the, divine sense check.
All right.
But it's not like there isn't magic that prevents that. Like, I have spells that could bypass that entirely. So it's not a surefire, but it seems a little above his, pay grade. But, I don't know what to make of it. He seems earnest, but that doesn't rule out that something is happening beyond his sense of... I don't know.
So,
it's not getting worse.
That's something.
Whatever that means. It's not getting better either.
So, in your expert opinion, do you think it's best we leave him here when we go? Or should we take him with us? I can see pros and cons to both.
Yeah, I don't. It's like, well, at worst, he follows us up, gets himself killed. But I guess it serves as a nice distraction. I mean, at worst, he turns on us because it's some vampire thrall situation. I don't know.
So maybe we bring him in with, and he stays with Desiree and Anubia. Perhaps again.
I would. Yeah, I don't think we should bring him anywhere near Moira. Well, on a Moira rescue mission.
Right.
So,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what to make of it.
All right. We'll just keep us informed.
Croak will raise his hand.
Mhm.
He will hold up a parchment and a quill, pantomime writing something down, fold the parchment, and then pantomime handing it over. It will kind of stand there with his hands on his hip, kind of like how he would envision a member of a religious order would stand, and then put his hand on his other one, and then kind of like have it mimic sailing like a boat. And then he will put his foot on a stool with his hands on his hip, kind of like a Captain Morgan pose.
Let his order know he's here.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Croak will shake his head, and then he'll strike the Captain Morgan pose again, but then cup his hands under his chest.
Yeah, our captain. Send him back to the boat. Or let her know. I don't know. Sorry if I'm picking up on the wrong thing.
He nods at that.
Okay. Not a bad idea. My concern about sending him back to the boat, at least, is that if he was to turn, we've just sent. I mean, we can
a time bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least here, I mean, all these villagers here are used to dealing with vampire. Are used to the vampires and their presence, and who knows how many of them are at risk of being thralls anyway.
True.
Is my only thought.
Well, I guess we can consider ourselves. Well, we consider a point in his favor that he doesn't recognize any of the tax collectors. They don't seem to recognize him. I don't know. I don't like not knowing, but
We got a lot of not great options. I think we just have to
keep an eye on him.
Yeah, pick our least fate. The one that seems to suck the least.
He turns on us. How powerful could he be?
Right, not very. He's pretty. He doesn't seem like it's that. He doesn't seem like he's got that much going for him, right? Sure, it's fine.
Always.
He looks like if Anubia just looked at him, it will snap a leg.
Well. It's not that I don't doubt you, but There was a bit of a saying that we had back during my trials to become a monk. At least some of the older ones would. Never underestimate the one who looks the smallest runt of the litter.
It's true. Well, that's kind of an argument for why we shouldn't put him on a boat of civilians. Alright. I guess we're gonna have to take him with us. Find Moira. Pick her up and run as fast as we can out of the castle.
I love this plan. It's a great plan. Nothing possibly could go wrong.
Absolutely not.
I mean, what? We don't got many other options here. Just gotta get out of there alive. Tuck her under an arm if we have to.
Is there anything else? Are we set?
I think so.
I'd like to go to bed for real.
All right. Yes, of course.
Okay. Are any of you planning to stay up and do a watch, or are all of you going to rest?
So
I'll definitely take a watch because of my short resting period.
I think Fia would like the benefits of a long rest, but she does not sleep.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah, and she will spend most of that on the roof.
Okay.
If not all of that. So once everybody leaves, I imagine it at a certain point, once everybody, although I know that, do I know that Saskia's put an alarm on the room?
Yes.
Okay.
You would know that I put alarms, but only I hear that, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And can you tell who's left the room?
Or
you just hear that there's movement?
I can tell, I can't tell who set off the alarm, but I can designate that we don't set it off, so if you leave the room 6 times, I will not know.
Okay, great. I would probably request that particular thing so that I can, again, mostly because I intend to be awake on top of the roof for the entire night.
I believe Renwick was the only one that we said, like,
yes.
When he comes and goes, that will give a specific alarm, but otherwise it is everyone, anything else besides the immediate party will set off the mental alarm.
Yep. And it awakens me if I am asleep.
That's true. Okay. Well, in that case, Fia, you're inactive for the benefits of the long rest, but you can still do a perception check if you would like. And Desiree, if you would like to do a perception check for the 4 hours that you will be awake.
All right. It's a 15 for me.
Okay. 26 for me.
Yeah, right.
With the 15, Fia, your eyelids are heavy. The air is heavy here as well with the sheer moisture in the air. I mean, you're in a tropical environment. There's the intense sound of insects coming from the jungle, coupled with some noises that you tell yourself are just probably normal animals. Animals make weird noises sometimes, unsettling noises. If you ever heard a bull moose or a bobcat, nightmare creatures. Probably neither of those in a jungle, I have to imagine.
I did meet the feral vampires. I'm aware that they're out there.
Yeah, at the same time, I don't think thinking about those is restful. So
that's fair.
Yeah. You can softly hear the movement of water out towards the bay, being not that far. But I have to imagine that your eyes, the eyelids heavy though they are, your sight is drawn upwards towards the the top of the cliffside where you know that Castle Hollow Vow is, and knowing that within that cliff resides something dark and terrible. Desiree, with a 26. You stay in your room? Do you patrol the hallways? What do you...
I probably mostly stay near windows or balconies. I poke out into the hallways every once in a while, but mostly trying to look at the outside from the inside.
Okay. With a 26, and maybe it's the stress of the situation. I mean, you've gotten enough sleep for an elf, but you keep hearing a voice from time to time. It is soft, feminine. You keep hearing words like heretic, non-believer. You hear phrases like, you didn't deserve it. I didn't want you. And it's just like, it's so soft where like your elven hearing picks it up. And you can't pinpoint if it's coming from inside your own mind or out in the room, if it's just a figment of your imagination, or if there is something saying something to you. And it's that point where you'll hear it in an otherwise silent environment and your ears perk up and you try to listen for it to make that noise again, and minutes, half an hour goes by, nothing, and then it will happen again. Just when you've gotten to the point where you've lost focus on it and you've started focusing on something else, it comes through just clear enough. But otherwise, your watch is uneventful. Morning arrives in Esperanza. All of you are rested, although probably a little unsettled. You know that food will be provided downstairs by Lyskander. And you have the majority of the day provided to you. You know that in the evening, before the fog arrives, before the tax collectors arrive, the larger human who accompanied the tax collectors is due to come into town and escort you all up to the keep. With the day provided to you, is there anything you all would like to do?
I don't know how I would go about this, but I would like to try and work. Sorry, I'm finishing my prep spell list.
You're good.
I am aware that there is like hallowed ground underneath the inn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go poking around, but I'm going to try and like while I'm having breakfast, I want to try and visually work out layout of the building and figure out like where would that be? Because like it's not like when I sensed that it wouldn't be like directly on like the common area. It's like subterranean under the common area, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to try and mentally map out the building and understand like what I understand of the building, like where, like how would I get downstairs?
Sure. Well, we don't necessarily have to feature this, but this is the battle map that you all are on is essentially the layout of the tavern. With the green lanterns and everything. This is at night, however, the layout does not change from day to night, fortunately for you all. So you can see that there is the main entrance, which would be towards the south of the map. You can see that you kind of come in through a foyer area, down a hallway, take a left, and then that's where Lyskander would have first been seen at the bar. If you were to take a right, there's a couple of lavatories, there's some storage spaces, but otherwise there's just tables, benches, plenty of seating provided to all of you. The kitchen is behind, which you have not had access to yet. So wouldn't necessarily know everything that's back there, although you do know that there's somebody that Lyskander was yelling at in Goblin. You know that there is a fireplace, which if you go down some steps, it is on a slightly lower level, closer to where the river runs out towards the ocean. And you know there's a secondary sitting room as well with another fireplace off to the side of that. So all of those common spaces provided to you. If you are looking for the hallowed space, let's do investigation, since you are kind of looking for like entrance to what would be the downstairs.
Yeah. Investigation is. Oof. It's +4. The natural 1? Yeah, it's a 1. So it's 5
Okay.
total.
Okay. Gena, I've decided that for you, we're going to use a great feature that I picked up from the Marvel's game. What is that called? The Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, which is failing forward. We're going to fail forward right now. So, as you are exploring the tavern, it is somewhat quiet in here, actually. The chaos of kobolds, which actually is a great name for a group of kobolds, I'm realizing right now, is not present. So all of that hubbub that you all kind of walked into in the first place, the bar sits rather quiet. No longer is there a scowling half-dwarf, Mr. Ham, who's sitting behind it. Lyskander almost has a look of like sadness on his face a little bit, but forces a smile as you all come downstairs and does eye you a little suspiciously as you seem to be looking for something. So as you're peeking around from room to room, did you want any sort of breakfast or any food I could provide for you?
No, I was trying to figure out if there's a smoke-friendly room.
You may smoke in any of the rooms as long as it is contained fire. There is 2 fireplaces if you would like to sit by those. Please no fire bolts, fire balls, flaming spheres, any sort of keep your magic at bay. But if you're looking to smoke, light it up.
Thank you. You have many problems with flaming spheres in here?
No, and I hope to keep it that way. I am next to a river, but I wish to keep the water where it is and not have to douse my property with it.
Okay. Seems like a wise thing.
Yes.
I think she's going to take out her pipe, light it very casually.
Mm-hmm.
Seems a very interesting place you have here. There's I don't know, there's like a buzzing here somewhere. I can't quite figure out what it is.
I am not sure. It is a nice place. I inherited it many years ago from the former owner, who fell onto some hard times.
Really? Of the monetary type or of the anemic type?
It is an issue with his taxes. Yes, as you might have guessed.
Okay.
But I have learned much in those years.
Really?
Mm.
Like, don't let the tax collectors come in?
It is part of it.
I think... All right. Actually, I think out of that conversation, she's worked out like the implied subtext enough for why there's a hallowed space in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she's gonna let it go for now, at least for the morning. Seems a little stressed.
If you would like to do this conversation, if you would like to do an insight check, you may.
I would. Okay. I have a good insight. Oh, 13 plus 6 is 19.
Okay. In that case, he goes to turn around, having finished your conversation, and we'll carry your insight into maybe a couple other skills as well, but we won't necessarily do a different skill check with this. You would see that he is, again, he's serpentine. Lower half of his body is very snake-like, and he has a few scales on his face, and his fingers even have like a slight webbing and claws. He's very reptilian. He's wearing a vest as well as several bits of like just simple jewelry and adornment. But as he turns, you can see that he goes to reach for something behind the bar, and he stretches his back muscles a little bit, and the vest kind of drops just slightly, and between his shoulders, you see a symbol of the god Lathander. You would know is also known as the Morning Lord. It's a god of the sun and of light and ardent objectivity of the opposal of undead.
I think for the rest of the morning, I know that he's probably not actively checking this all the time, but I think if he ever seems to be like whenever he seems to be scanning the room every time, I think I'm going to try and keep I know that somebody here is detecting thoughts, and I know that it happened when we came in. So I think whenever there's like anybody who comes in or whenever he seems to be assessing the room, I think I'm going to try and keep a sort of like an ad in my mind of the Triskelion.
Mm-hmm.
So that if he happens to run a detect thoughts again, because I think I'm suspecting that he's the one who did it, that he will see that and probably try to know that I'm trying to help here.
Okay.
If he happens to put that off at any second. But that's what I'm doing with my morning. Hanging out, having a long breakfast, waiting, figuring out what's happening here.
Okay. Any other ways you all would like to spend your day?
I think before kind of spending the day, depending on who would be in the room, Anubia would sort of just be in the middle, like sort of on the floor of her room with Desiree. She's basically just kneeling down, completely knelt down, like hands like by her chest. And she would essentially offer a prayer to Lord Anubis.
Go ahead and make a religion check.
Yeah. $23.
Okay. With a 23, praying to the psychopomp that is Anubis, there's been a dark cloud that's kind of been hanging over Anubia for some time. It seems like a bit of uncertainty and a bit of maybe even the beginnings of fear, maybe even outright fear. I'm not going to necessarily put that on her, but some uncomfortable things have been put in her path. I think there is a level of confidence that is imbued into you. I'll give you a free use of bless for the day. Single use of bless for the day. And also, your senses perk up for just a moment as like you're coming out of this prayer, and you can smell something foul on the wind. There's something unpleasant that is nearby, that is on its way, and you know to be vigilant, if that wasn't clear already.
Mm-hmm. Do you actually, is it with that whole foul smell on the wind thing, is it, would she be able to, I guess, tell, is it just coming from just a general, like, nearby, or is it coming from, like, a specific direction kind of deal?
I would say nearby.
Okay.
But also like there's the sense of both. Okay, like in video games, it's the you can't rest when enemies are around.
Okay.
You're getting that.
I see. Yeah, I think her fur would definitely like prick up at her fur would definitely sort of prick up a little bit. Her ears sort of twitch a little bit at the weird sort of sense she just got from that.
Mhm.
But she would continue her prayer, finish up, um, before heading down and getting some breakfast. That sort of prickly feeling still in the air, so very odd for her a little bit as she sort of steps down.
Anyone else?
Croak, I think before heading down to breakfast, will get Fiach. He will point out to the docks and then kind of hop up on the chair, and mimicking Captain Nucksack's voice, say first, and then make a show of like rifling through a drawer, and then point out to the docks again.
Oh. Oh, that's very clever indeed. Don't know what we'd learn, but don't see why we couldn't. I mean, there's no harm, right? It's just an inn.
Yeah. Croak.
You're talking about in here. We're not talking about going out to where their ship is, right?
Croak again nods, but then points down to the floor, and then also points out the window to the dock, where he remembers their ship was parked.
Oh, that's true. That's not a bad. Well, we could. Wouldn't hurt. Just to see what we find. Just the two of us, or do we want to bring some the others along with us? We should bring the others, huh?
Croak thinks for a moment and then nods.
Okay. Yeah. Well, and I heard they liked Anubia, so that would be great.
Croak shrugs, kind of nods, and then like kind of flexes his wings.
Well, they didn't have a room here because they stayed on the ship, right? We should just get them. Right? Yeah. All right. Well, let's grab the others and just see if we can't check out. At least say hi.
Okay. So, gathering everyone together. The plan being to go to the docks and check on the Indestructible 2. Is that correct?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Unless there's anything anybody wanted to do before you left. Cool. Then, yeah, gathering together, having a little bit of breakfast. It's still earlier than midday by the time that you leave the Owl Light Inn and head towards the docks, heading somewhat downhill towards the water, the bay, which there's a little light in the sky today. The clouds are hazy, but not so thick that they cut the light completely. So it's relatively sunny. You can hear that there are tropical birds which squawk, and again, the constant hum of insects about. The town seems to be back to normal. As far as you can tell, people go about their business, no longer drenched in rain, but seem to be... I mean, if you didn't know better, this would be any other portside town. There's the hustle and bustle of people engaging in business and moving goods and trying to do their best just to make it another day. And not in a town ruled by vampires sort of way, but in a town that's ruled by the greater pressures of the world sort of way. And maybe that's a more unsettling thing, is how normal the horrors that you witnessed last night have become to this town. But passing through the town, you're given a couple of odd looks. You are new in town after all, but no one seems to bother you too much. And as you head towards the water, you see the long stretch of wooden docks before you. You look out into the bay. You can see at some distance is the Halcyon, still anchored, seemingly unmessed with. You don't see the Indestructible 2. It is no longer moored where it was. And as you scan about, it is nowhere in the bay.
Huh.
We particularly surprised?
Well, no.
Can't say that.
If I were a betting person, I would say I wouldn't be surprised if we found that ship in that cave that I saw. Or nearby, near the cave, rather. Well,
I could always ask the dockmaster if they left, but I don't want to talk to him. He's so strange.
I know.
Like 50 feet away, he's just staring, waiting for you to engage him in the scene.
I could talk to him, I suppose. Ugh. I've seen a lot of creepy things and met a lot of creepy people, but that one takes the cake for sure.
And he's just a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that makes it worse.
That's the
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, he's just a bureaucrat.
I
He's the
know.
worst monster.
Yeah.
They don't even have stat blocks.
No.
Mm.
I will go up to him. Hello there.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey,
Hi.
sorry to bother you. Just
No bother.
the other ship. So the other ship that was here yesterday. Yesterday was it? It was. With the little guys, the Indestructible 2, I believe it was.
Yes.
With Captain Nooksack.
Yes.
Yes. They don't seem to be here today. Have you? I thought they were planning on being around for a little bit anyway. You wouldn't happen to have heard where they went or seen where they went, did you?
They went out to sea. They paid their docking fees in full, and they left. And I was, well, speaking not professionally, but personally, rather glad to see them go.
You know, that doesn't surprise me about you at all. Can I make an insight check on this
Sure.
character? I dislike him so much.
He's down in my notes as just is so weird. That's it.
That is, I did this to myself. An 8. An 8.
Tracks.
Yeah.
So, if you were looking for, like body language,
Yeah.
he's stiff,
Sure.
but no more than he was when you all first met. He holds himself with a level of rigidity that is maybe appropriate of a lower tier bureaucrat in an otherwise haunted as fuck town. It doesn't seem like he's necessarily lying to you. It seems like they went out to sea and he was happy that they left.
Yeah. I kind of figured he was telling the truth about being happy to see them go. Just wasn't sure if he was lying about them just leaving, or if there was, but that's, with an 8.
I can't speak to their motives, but all the same, they left.
It's such
Any
it's-
more information than that, I simply cannot give away that sort of private information. I do value the privacy of anyone who comes through our harbor, you understand?
Oh, I'm sure you do, and you do such an excellent job of it. It was just, that they had been interested in in getting to know one of our friends here, and so we're a little sad to see them go.
Count your friend lucky in that sense. And
Oh, she'll be
if
so
you need-
disappointed.
Oh, well, he reaches into a pocket and pulls out a handkerchief for her tears then.
I will reach out my clawed hand and pluck it out with 2 fingers, taking care to try and not touch this person as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. That is, that is very sweet of you. Who knew there was a softie under there?
We're all soft on the inside.
Aren't we just?
Anyway, if you don't have anything else, I am quite busy. And you see he looks over your shoulder as another ship is pulling into the harbor at this point.
No, thank you. I wouldn't want to keep you from your job.
Mm-hmm. Make sure to pay your fees and your taxes.
We paid ahead of time, didn't we? Or we paid
Somewhat.
half? We paid half.
Yes,
Yeah, right.
you did.
Don't worry. Well, we're paid up for today at the very least.
You are.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I go back to the group. I got his handkerchief.
I think while this conversation is happening, I would like to check the dock where the Indestructible 2 had been parked and see if I can find any kinds of... What kind of tracks can I find in there? What kind of footprints?
Fair question. So the Indestructible 2 didn't actually pull up to the dock. It did do a Tokyo drift, drop anchor, and then a bunch of kobolds jumped into the water and swam off of it. That is not to say that there aren't tracks. So looking out towards like the sand, the beach where the kobolds would have had to either get on a rowboat or swim back to shore, the tide has come and gone a little bit, so this is going to be a more difficult survival check, but you can still do a survival check to see if you notice anything.
I will do just that. That is a 21 total.
Okay. With a 21, just faintly, you can see the remnants of little pitter-patter kobold feet in the sand that haven't been fully worn away by the natural erosion of the tide. They seem to be walking from what you can tell and go into the water and it kind of seems like you're seeing where the kobolds would have returned to their ship at the end of the night. But you don't see any signs of distress, although difficult to see signs of anything at this point.
Okay, and no like bigger footprints in the sand?
Nothing you see for that?
Okay.
You will see, Croak, as you are close there, you will see that there is a ship that is pulling into the harbor now, that Dockmaster Clive has gone to walk towards, and it has started to offload some rather large cargo. Some of which appears to be living cargo, as you would look over and see a tabaxi riding an ankylosaurus. And you would see that there are 2 large dinosaurs, ankylosaurus, the kind of shelled, club-tailed dinosaurs, that are walking off of a large boardwalk onto the dock itself. You can see that there are 3 tabaxi in total, and the ankylosaurus are also pulling behind them an even larger container that seems to be fully enclosed, but is marked with signs in many languages. You see that there's Orcish, there's Goblin, there's Dwarven, there's Elvish, there's Common, all saying warning or caution or danger in a variety of contexts. So that is what you see as you look over, and you see that there's a ship called the Topaz that is pulled up. And Dockmaster Clive is trying to engage in some sort of conversation with the tabaxi that is gesticulating wildly from atop this ankylosaurus. And you watch as they just throw a coin that hits Dockmaster Clive right between the eyes, and then the ankylosaurus goes walking off towards the town.
The ankylosaurs are pulling the cargo off, or are they just being rode as mounts?
Both. They have a person on their back, and they are both acting as essentially draft horses towards this large bit of cargo that is on wheels.
Okay, and how many crates, I guess,
One
are
big one.
offloaded back in? Just the big one?
Just
Okay.
one big one.
Okay. Okay. If I get closer, would I hear anything coming from the crate?
Yeah, you have past perception 19. You would hear the sound of very heavy breathing, maybe even snoring, is what I would put it with.
Hmm. Okay. How is this crate secured? Is it chained shut, nailed?
Yeah, so it has adamantine struts that go around it, almost cage-like, but otherwise is enclosed with what looks to be almost like bamboo poles that are all like held tightly together. And then you can also see that there are chains as well. So it's log cabin-esque, but it's held very, very tightly together, almost as if like bundled, and then the adamantine struts that further support it all the way around. And as you are looking, one of the tabaxi comes walking over to you. There's two that are riding each of the ankylosaurs, but there's one that's walking. And just comes strutting up to you. It's darker in color with these brindled stripes going all over his face and these bright yellow eyes. And he just struts right up. Hello there. I see you are interested in my little cavalcade, yes?
I will look up at Bitabaxi, reply, hello there, and then nod.
That is a fun trick. Oh, you are not one of the chatty. So chatty in a different way. Let's see. Butts. No, you do it.
Butts.
Yes, it's very good. Okay. All right, that was fun. Okay, bye, little bird.
Croak will nod, say, bye, and then turn and walk away.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take our break there. It is about that time. Let's take about 10 minutes. Pet your pets, hydrate, do the things. Remember that we are raising money for the Translatina Coalition. You can donate at any time to add some incentives to our game. And when we come back, even more Harbingers. Stick around. Vast and welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Harbingers. Please don't bump me. You're such a good dog. This is our Horizons Call spinoff using the 5e rule set, featuring the fate-bound warriors and goth kids of Damaris. You all are down near the docks on the gray sandy beach of the port city of Esperanza. You have seen that the Indestructible 2, the kobold warship captained by Captain Nucksack, is missing, as well as its entire crew. You've interrogated the dockmaster, who's given you practically nothing, and you've also seen that there are a trio of tabaxi who are leading some dinosaurs now into town. With that, you have a few more hours in your day. It's reaching about midday at this point. What would you all like to do?
Could I have made an attempt to kind of stealthily follow behind this cargo? Maybe like get an idea of where they're going?
Sure. Yeah, you can roll stealth for that.
Stealth. Ooh, okay. That's a 19 on the die for 31.
Okay. Yeah. To the rest of the party, Croak disappears. Croak, you
Great.
follow along as the dinosaurs are moving not that far into town. In fact, they're going towards where you're getting more of a smell of low tide. And you know that this is an area, at least from what you got from your overview and the general scouting you've done. This is kind of like where the fishermen live. It's also where the warehouses are. As any decent dock, especially of a city the size of Esperanza, which isn't huge, but sizable, would need some place to store the goods that are going in and going out. And you can see that the trio of Tabaxi lead the dinosaurs up to one of the warehouses, and you can see that they have a verbal exchange with somebody that seems to work there. The large sliding doors are opened, and they bring the dinosaurs and their large, very large crate in with them.
Okay, I will make a note of where this warehouse is, and then kind of like duck into an alleyway, mark it on our map, and then return to the others.
Right.
Or where I remember the others being. I don't know if they've if they've left at this point.
Yeah, I guess I should ask. If there's nothing else you all had in mind for your day, totally okay. Would you all like to just skip towards the evening and meeting up with the man that you met from the night prior?
I'm good with that.
I'm
just chilling, waiting for my dentist.
Yeah. I think there's a couple of times when Fiach, like, starts to reach out. There's this thread that she knows that exists that connects her to the Morrigan. And I think she like starts to tug on it a little bit and then thinks better of it and then but doesn't currently.
Okay.
She doesn't want to bother her patron at this time, remembering that she was told to choose her own fate, and so saving that for something special.
So it's the concept of what's worse, either bothering your patron or reaching out and realizing that you don't get an answer.
Well, and she remembers that time too.
All right. Evening arrives to Esperanza faster than really it feels like it should. Maybe it's the way that the cliff seems to loom over the west, so as the sun sets, the light of the sun is cut significantly by the cliffside. You know that you are due to meet up with your guide. He can find you wherever you are. As evening arrives, where would we find you all? Would you be back at the inn? Would you be hanging around the docks? Would you be moseying around town? Hanging at the edge of the town itself? Where would you all plan to be?
I think before we head out or meet with our guide, I would have informed the others of what I had seen and where I had seen the cargo get dropped off.
Okay.
I think I also would have recommended that we not wait inside the inn.
Oh, no.
If we want to, yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would also, at this point, because I had not mentioned this before to everybody, I would mention to everybody that there is a hollowed ground somewhere underneath the inn, and what I learned about Niskander.
That's very useful indeed.
Yes, so I would recommend that we especially do not bring trouble on him.
No, but it's nice to know there's a safe haven. Should we need that too?
feel like, Saskia would suggest that maybe we go meet at the fountain because it seems like a polite place to meet.
That was my thought. I feel keeping it out in the open. My other thought was we could go right by the gate out towards the jungle, where Croak and I first were investigating and we saw the carriage come through that way, so we could head them off that way. But I like the fountain too.
The gate seems a good idea. I don't know that we need to be seen getting an escort.
Fair.
And to the Renwick question.
Yes, we're gonna have to bring him.
We're bringing Renwick.
We're bringing him.
Okay.
Keeping a close eye on his ass.
Okay. You go walking through the town as the sun gets lower and lower and the light fades more and more. There's still enough ambient light that you know that it is still technically not night. Nevertheless, night is quickly approaching by the time that you reach the gate area, and you see walking down the path, it completely alone, seemingly casually, dressed very similarly to how he was last night, is a taller human man. Let's see, passives. Croak and Fiach, I think you would be the only ones that would notice that as he steps out of the darkness of the jungle, there's just the briefest moment where like a flash comes across his eyes of eye shine. And he walks up to all of you wearing the studded leather vest, close cropped hair, close cropped beard, darker skin.
Well, are all of you ready?
I believe we are.
Stay close. The jungle is unfriendly, even at the height of the sun. But they don't want to mess with me.
Lead on then.
He turns and begins walking down the path where the cobblestone turns into mud. He's silent for most of the journey unless any of you had anything you wanted to say to him.
Would either Fiach and I recognize what that flash across his eyes might have been?
You can do nature or arcana. Yeah,
I'll take nature.
They're the same for me, so I'll go with Arcana, but it's not great. Dear Janet, Long Dog Dice, I wish her dice were slightly better, like slightly less actually balanced than they really are.
They're incredibly balanced.
They are so incredibly balanced, because that's only a 7.
Okay.
So 14 nature for me.
Okay. I think with a 14, Croak, you would know that like that's the eye shine of a crepuscular or even nocturnal animal, indicating that that's the way that dark vision looks. So, but by all accounts, he appears human. Doesn't appear to be a half elf or half dwarf or half orc or anything else that might have dark vision. So maybe there's a magical sort of quantity that is giving him that dark vision. For Fiach, you just like, oh, pretty eyes.
Yeah, is he? Never mind. Don't worry. Nope, I'm not gonna ask it. Don't worry about it. We're not. This is Desiday's rodeo. Fiach is doing her very best not to fuck it up.
You continue down the path, and it's a decent bit of time before he finally pipes up.
Make sure you're all staying close. Like I said, there's things in the jungle, and you all, well, no need to make a meal of you all just yet.
Oh, you're concerned about us. That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I said I'd try. You didn't say I'd succeed.
Lasted 5 seconds.
Probably best that we don't comment on each other's flavors just yet.
I'm gonna let it go.
You all walk for a little while longer through the darkness of the jungle, made all the darker by the fact that it is becoming night at this point. And both after what feels like not as much time as maybe it should have been, but also a small eternity, you are traveling uphill for a decent bit, and you reach a point where the jungle breaks, and you see this large stretch in between where the jungle continues to try to encroach and expand its reach, and the grounds of this keep. And so you can see where trees have been hacked down and stumps remain. You can see where the tall grasses have been tried to cut back as well. But looking ahead, you can see the large expanse of Castle Hollowvow, a castle that does, much like Croak saw from an aerial view, seem misplaced in this jungle environment. And even as you're looking at it, you can see that there are vines and flowers and plant life that is trying to creep into the cracks in the stone and trying to reclaim the land that the castle once stood on. There is a river that crosses between you and the castle with a causeway that goes over top of it. And the castle itself looms Gothic and medieval, with this intermixing of gargoyles and grotesques, of banners that flap with this red coloration to them, and a large metal gate as well. And still the man leads you forward. You can see that the wagon they saw the night before, the carriage, is being prepared, much as you saw it stop where it had stopped in your scrying. You can see that there are armored soldiers, guards on either side of it, standing completely still, but no other movement there at the moment. And as the man leads you through the gates, you reach a large set of metal and wooden doors. He turns back to all of you.
All in one piece. Try to stay that way. What are you all hoping to get out of this, by the way? Just curious.
Croak just looks at Desiree.
I think we all do.
Yeah, I think.
My companions are traveling with me. I hope to become a vampire.
Okay, little bunny. Sure. Okay. You go become a vampire then. Sure.
Fiach's feathers ruffle real hard at that little bunny.
I'm curious why you seem so skeptical.
I don't know. You're not the first to come knocking at these doors in the hopes of a little bite and a long immortality. It ain't for everyone. Not everybody's cut out for it. But maybe you'll prove me wrong.
What makes the cut? I'm curious.
Typically they do. And then you bleed. That's what makes the cut. It just depends on... It depends on how you bleed. If that makes sense. bleed too good, and you don't stop. Bleed too little, it ain't worth it. So, what do you got running through your veins? Anything good?
Suppose we'll find out.
Yeah, they will. I can take you all back when and if they allow that. Guess we'll see.
And he goes to push open the door. This very large doors that he is able to open with just one hand. And he holds it open for all of you to enter.
I'll walk in.
Okay. Walking inside, you would see the grand hall that you all saw. Well, I guess Fia would have seen before. This very clean space. Marble, part of the floor is checkered. There's statuary that is marble, some that is golden. There's a level of like opulence and decadence to this space with the statues that some are humanoid but have a sort of twisted, almost painful visage to them. There's some statues of animals as well. Long red carpets that adorn the areas as well, and some banners. No clear windows to this space from where you can see. And a stairway that leads upwards onto a balcony and a secondary level, and then hallways that lead down in almost every direction. And standing there is Cadigan, dressed in a level of finery, the vampire that you had met the night before, an older half-elf, as well as Lady Spite, with her veil drawn over her face and her pointed fingernails, her hands interlaced. And as you walk in, there's a chandelier that hangs down with candlelight. There's candles lighting the area, which would consider this a dim lit space. But Cadigan walks forward. You all made it. Good. It's... Well, I suppose we'll see whether it's good to have you here or not. My lord is waiting in the study for you all. His interest is piqued as to your arrival. As I said the night prior, the best thing to help you now is honesty. If there's nothing I can get you before we go, then you may follow me.
I believe I am ready. Will my friends be coming with me?
If that's your wish. Otherwise, I can see them stabled appropriately.
Stabled.
No offense meant. Simply that if you are not interested in the gift, then, well, we tend to view many things as livestock.
Right.
Well then.
Friend, would
If
you,
you-
like us to accompany, or would you like us all to accompany you?
If that is your wish.
Desiree, you know some of us are not particularly interested in this, and we're only here to support you as a friend.
I know.
I think I shall stay back.
Yeah, it's...
My path ends here. I do.
Anubia, will you come with me?
I'll accompany you.
I think Croak is making a show of like staring at the animal statues as if not paying attention.
If I
Really will.
if I can, before they walk away, I just want to like grab Anubia and whisper as quietly and I'm sure they have great hearing and I kind of don't care. I would just want to whisper to Anubia, the one who let us in here, kill that one first.
He's already at the top of my list.
Perfect.
Actually, I think before we separate, I think while we're sort of saying our quote-unquote goodbyes, I'm actually going to use my I'm actually going to use my the bless that I got from Lord Anubis. I will select Saskia, Croak, and Fiach as the recipients.
Okay. So 1d4 towards next roll. That's what it is.
I believe.
Yeah. I'll double check that. Okay. Let's see. So bless. And we've got one action. We've got 30 feet. You bless up to 3 creatures within range whenever a target makes an attack roll, saving throw before the spell ends. Which the duration is 1 minute, but we can say we can extend this because it was a special dispensation sort of deal. For whatever their next attack roll or saving throw is, they can add a 1d4 to that. Okay. All right. With some of you staying back, Cadigan leans past you all and speaks to the man that's still holding the door. Nico, if you wouldn't mind, we have some disinterest in meeting our lord. If you could entertain the others, I would very much appreciate that. The lady and I will be joining the others with the lord. And the man just kind of droops his shoulders a little bit. What do you want me to do with them? Just keep them entertained. Busy. Give them a tour. A limited one, you understand? Fine. Come on. Let's go.
I nod and follow.
Yeah. As I'm turning back, since we'd previously... I'm just like... We previously agreed to send Renwick with the others, but Saskia kind of doesn't want to send them now that there's so many... Now that she knows Cadigan and Spike are going to be there. It's like, that's a lot of...
Yeah. It's fine that Desiree and Anubia are alone with them. That's great. It's totally
That's
fine.
great.
Totally
That's
not
great.
regretting any of my choices.
Saskia, give me a perception check.
Okay. I'm going to use... I have an inspiration, right?
I believe so.
From the recap.
Yes. Okay, that's better. Not by much. 14.
Renwick is missing.
God damn it.
Oh, what is this guy?
As you all have been kind of talking around things, he was just there. He was in front of you for the entire walk. You didn't lose him in the jungle. He walked through the door. You know he walked through that front gate, that front door.
It's like literally a vibe of like when Nico talked and I looked over my shoulder that suddenly like outlined where he was when I turned around. Like that's the vibe. Is that like... Okay, you know what? Now's not the time to make a scene. I think she's just gonna be like, I think she's going to try, like she was going to turn to like say something and notice he's missing and just not like try to play it off. Because I also don't know how much this Nico guy was counting. So I'll just, okay.
Oh.
So, who is going to meet with Cadigan, Lady Spite, and the Lord? That is Desiree and Anubia?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. Everyone else going with with Nico.
Nico's the one who brought us here?
Yes.
Okay. Great. He's my least favorite person. That got it. Understood.
The irony. Okay. Let's go to the Nico group second. Let's start with those who are meeting with the Lord. As the majority of you are escorted out, and Nico closes the large door behind you, and you now stand in this courtyard area with the carriage, the draft horses, but everything otherwise quiet. He just goes,
So, do I don't fucking know.
Let's get over to those who are meeting with the Lord. For Desiree and Anubia, Cadigan and Lady Spite walk ahead of you, but also somewhat on like either side of you as well, like in a almost V formation, a flat V, a U formation, and they lead you off to the left, where you can see that there is another hallway, much darker than the one you are in, but still somewhat lit by candles. In here, you can see that there is stained glass that has a little bit of moonlight casting through. Again, not a totally full moon at this point. And you can see that there is more statuary in here. It almost appears like a chapel. There's rows of benches, some of which are a little askew, implying that they haven't been used for some time. Up towards where the statuary is, like where the benches are all facing, you can see that there are instruments placed, as well as some seating, some sheet music, but everything has a layer of dust and cobweb to it, indicating that nothing here has been touched for quite some time. And there is an organ as well, a large piano organ. But you pass that room all the same and into the next, which is a large room. It has a lower level kind of carved out a little bit, just a few steps leading down with this large checkered pattern, almost like a chessboard. There are still statues of animals, of these angelic beings, still twisted humanoid beings. There are paintings that line the walls that aren't otherwise covered in books, and this is one of those like Beauty and the Beast-esque libraries with just books lining just ceiling to floor the majority of the walls. Can I get a perception check from the two of you, please?
Okay. 19.
24.
Great. Both of those great. So I think you're going to pick up on basically the same thing. So what you would see is sitting in a plush chair towards the center of this checkered floor area, with several other chairs placed facing him and a table in between him and those chairs. You would see a well-dressed, somewhat younger looking man. You would guess maybe like late 20s at the oldest. Longer, dark hair, which is kind of swept off to one side. He is definitely paler in complexion, Caucasian appearing, and he's, like I said, dressed rather finely. Long coat that kind of comes out from behind him as he's sitting down, and he is holding a counterintuitive to a lot of vampires. He's not holding like a wine glass or anything. He's actually holding a stein, it appears. And he looks up with these eyes that give off just a little bit of eye shine as you walk in. As you glance about the room, you can see that there are paintings, like I said, about as well. One of the paintings you see prominently featured has a man that, with a perception check as high, especially as Desiree got, I think you would see some familial features between the young man that's sitting here and the person featured in this painting. And above the painting, you can see what appears to be the boards from a ship, like where the ship name would be emblazoned, and you can see the Night Queen is emblazoned above where this painting is. And as you enter the room, this man stands. Welcome. I am happy to have you all join me here at my humble estate. Please, you may sit. Please join. Is there something I can get you to drink or eat?
If you have any water, actually.
Yes. We absolutely have water. That's actually something. I need to make sure that your friends do not go off too far. I'm glad that it sounds as if Nico is with them. He's a very good guide. But you must be careful of the water that you drink around here. So river that feeds down into the town is safe. However, there's secondary rivers that branches, and that one is less so. Anyway, little things about this place. I've learned to love its idiosyncrasies and oddities over time.
Time you must have. I'm grateful for the audience, Lord Adderwas.
Yes, of course. You are... I'm sorry, I want to get your names from you specifically, not secondhand. What is your name? He looks at Desiree. Desiree. And you?
She would pause before... You may call me Anne.
Very well. I am, as you surmised, Lord Adelas. And again, this is my home. This is Castle Hollowvow. It is... Well, I hope it is a comfortable stay for you while you are here. But I am perhaps foregoing the inevitable. You have come here for a conversation, it sounds. What can I do for you?
As I told your associate, I humbly inquire as to the gift that I know you are able to give.
Yes.
In exchange for information, services, plunder, and prey that might result from my use of such a gift.
Sure, absolutely. Information, services, plunder, prey, most certainly. Are you a pirate, Desiree?
Of a sort, yes.
Sort, yes. What sort of experience do you have with piracy or marauding? Or you seem to be looking for some sort of violence that comes from this gift, it seems.
Yes, I am a soldier of fortune, in a sense. I have, from my entire adult life, made a living off of adventure. At times with the submersible vessels of my people, and now currently with a surface-bound group.
Yes, I was going to say drow are rather rare. It is a curiosity to meet someone of your kind on the surface.
I am quite familiar with plying my trade at the risk of death. And I have a set of abilities that has served me well, but not always well enough. My last major expedition led to an untimely fatality on my part.
Oh, so you have already experienced death?
Have.
Yes.
I do not wish to experience it again.
And you were brought back by magic then? A revivify or reincarnation, something of the sort?
Something of the sort, yes. The details are a little murky to me, but yes.
Yes. Where is it that you come from? Most recently, I should say.
I will give him the name of the same island that I gave the others, the kind of disreputable pirate hub of wherever.
Okay. Let's do a deception check. This is also to see if Desiree remembers what she said. I believe that she does, but We can also just carry this deception check throughout some of the half-truths we might be wading our way through.
In that case, if we're going to carry it throughout, I will use the crit that I have in the bank.
Great. Okay. And with your modifier, that is?
That's just a flat 20.
Flat 20. Great. Okay. Perfect. We will see. Okay. Right. And you, Anne, sorry. Are you also looking for the gift, or are you just here for emotional support? Are you a service animal?
She would, Anubia would growl at that last quip.
I appreciate the level of fire. That is what I was looking for.
It is mainly the latter.
And you are supportive of your friend ending their mortal life and beginning that one of immortality, being a monster to many, one who consumes the blood and life force of others. That is something you support?
Nubia would chuckle, like just give like a wry, dry sort of like almost derisive chuckle at that. And I can support it or not support it all I want. At the end of the day, it's Desidee's choice to do this. I can not really stand in their way so much as they can try and stand in mine for another course of action.
Yes, tactfully said. Well, times have been kind to us, to the city of Esperanza, to our wonderful keep here. We have plenty to feed on without needing to go and hunt amongst the citizenry. That has been very fortunate for us. But I always have concern about adding more mouths to feed. You understand? I'm wondering what services you could necessarily add to my already well flushed out army. You're muted, bud.
It was my intent to offer my services as a scout or forward agent, a way to project your power perhaps outside the boundaries of this particular island.
Interesting. To go and sail then. Go out where the sun can find you. Bold, but as someone who already has, I have to imagine, a mixed relationship with the sun, that might already be something you're used to. Well, if you are so ardent in this path, then that is something we can consider. Right then. I have a task for you then. If you are so hell-bent on becoming a vampire, that is what we are talking about, yes?
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Well, if that is your goal, then you may complete a task for me, and after that, should you complete this task successfully, well, then I see no issue with passing along my gift to you.
Understood.
There is a rumor about Esperanza and the island of Sangdamar, that its jungles are infested with some sort of nocturnal predators. These rumors are based in truth.
There are feral vampires that inhabit the majority of the jungles that surrounds this castle. The people that work for me, we have found a way to pass safely along the path that we have created. But every now and then the vampires get a little too bold for my liking. And this all stems from one specific source. Before I came to this place, there was someone else who ruled here. And she still thinks that she does, the old bitch. Deep in the jungle, there's a hag. She is the source of much of the vampirism that exists here, and she has been a thorn in my side for far too long. I have not necessarily had the resources to go and deal with her, or the people that I have sent have not been successful in this task. You and your friends seem capable, armed, trained. Deal with her. Cut off the head of this snake, and the rest of the feral vampires will wither away in time. But if you can grant me access to the jungles, if you can give me full control over this island, then... He looks over at Cat again. You might give that old man a run for his money in being my first mate. And I would, again, have no issue in assigning you a ship, a crew, and, of course, the gift of immortality. What do you say?
That is a most generous offer. I will take it back to my friends, see what we can do together, and should they find it disagreeable, well, I'll see what I can come up with.
Mm-hmm. If it is something that they find agreeable, then Nico can give you the rest of the details. He has been the one I have tasked with gathering information on the hag and all of her misdeeds. I have high hopes for you, Desiree. You seem interesting. And you have an air about you that I hope to see more of.
I'm honored that you should say so, my lord.
Mm-hmm. Very well. If there's nothing else I can do for you all, then I must prepare the carriages for our taxes. It was not always that they had to be nightly, but... well, payment must be paid.
Indeed. Will we be expected to meet the collectors at the fountain tonight?
You may forego taxes for this night. Consider it a kindness for showing interest, and if nothing else, I hope that you will carry all of your strength in dealing with the hag in the forest.
You're most kind, my lord.
Looks over at Anubia.
Anything I can do for you?
Nothing that you would be able to grant me.
Oh, you don't know unless you ask.
I'm fairly certain about that.
Very well. Well, Cadogan and Lady Spite will see you out then. Well, should you require anything else, they are quite capable.
Of course. Thank you for your time.
Let's cut over to what the rest of you have been up to. There's
Yeah,
there's the buzzing of insects as you stand in this courtyard with Nico, who It just kind of leans against some of the stone.
Do all like games or
Fuck. Fine.
this is the courtyard. That's a carriage. Those are horses. I'm not a tour guide. Well, shit, I can't even have a tour guide. Fuck. Fine. What do you all want to see? The library is where the Lord is right now. If you wanted to see that, you could have gone. Well. Yeah, we've got one of those.
Yes, we have one of those. Hey.
We don't have a ballroom. We have a dining room. No. The Lord is not fond of dancing, I guess. I don't know. I mean, we just moved the tables out of the way so it doubles as I don't know what to tell you. I didn't design this place.
Well, sorry everybody, I forgot I was muted in OBS. Everybody else could hear me just fine. Well, no, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Got distracted.
Okay, fine. We'll go and see the ballroom / dining room.
Great.
All right. He opens the door again to this otherwise empty hall, and you know that Cadigan, Lady Spite are with Anubia and Desiree, hopefully. He leads you off to the right at this point. And you're following a similar path to where Cadigan and Lady Spite walked. But instead of making a turn down one of the hallways, he leads you through the next door over. And you see a dark room at this point. There's no candles in here. There are windows that cast in this soft moonlight down on tables which have just a layer of dust across them. And they're these long kind of tables with chairs on either end, bench seating, as well as these high back chairs. All right, the dining ball.
Are we like in the room?
Yeah, he's walked you all in, and he's just kind of gesturing around.
This is where people eat, if they were going to eat. Mostly it's more of a drinking situation around here.
We have no idea of what's happening with the conversation that's next door.
No clue.
No idea what's going on.
No idea.
Fiach hates this guy in particular. As soon as the door closes, I think she's gonna grab him and get a claw to his neck.
Okay. You grab him, and he's a big guy.
Sure.
It feels like he weighs twice what he looks.
Got it.
Yeesh.
And you put a claw to his neck, and you feel this reverberation come through him that you realize is a growl that is channeling up from his stomach into his throat, and you see the eye shine again cast across his eyes.
If this is flirting, I'm only kind of interested.
Oh, darling, no. And I would like to make an attack roll.
Okay.
As she's doing that, I think seeing what's about to kick off, Croak would like to cast Silence.
Okay. Man, I really wish I had a map for this room. Let's see if I can pull one out of my ass here real quick. Croak, why don't you go ahead and cast silence, and then while I'm doing this, read me the spell for that.
Sure. It is a
I have any.
verbal and somatic component, so I think Croak will just hold up a finger to his beak and just say shh, and then in a dome of a 20-foot radius dome centered on Nico will sprout around him as noise no longer emanates from him or, I guess, Fiach at this point.
Okay. All right. Let's see here.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're totally fine. I'm not sure about a map, but that's okay because you all are in a dining hall and we can absolutely work with this. Silence is cast as you go ahead and make your attack roll.
Okay. This is just with the claws, which are admittedly not her best. Son of a butt. It's been a minute since I've used the claws. It is. It is a 14 to hit. It's not great.
14 does not hit.
Damn it. Okay, great. That's fine.
You go to slash and you're not inexperienced with tearing into humanoid flesh.
Yeah.
It almost feels like his neck is like leather armor, and you see the tendons in his neck start to flex and extend at this point.
Fair enough.
As it seems as he is getting, he is changing somewhat.
Sure.
Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
Yeah.
Everybody in 10 feet of me has a plus something. Where is it? I was just looking at it.
And I just realized, wait, doesn't Fiach technically have
bless.
the bless? Yeah.
I do have the bless.
If you'd like to add a 1d4, you can see if you hit.
Okay. Yes, I would like to see. I'll use the bless for this, sure. I mean, it's adding 4 to that 14, so 18 total.
And 18 is what you need.
All right, and I do believe that's just for the claws, just a 1d8. Me, it's not much, but it's a fully 8 points of damage of slashing.
Great. Okay, then in that case, you do actually rend. It does feel tougher than you would expected, but you rend flesh all the same. Great. Okay, so go ahead and put your initiatives into the Zoom chat, please.
Everybody has a +4, an additional +4
to our initiative.
Yes, if you're standing within 10 feet of me, I give you an extra +4.
Gotta love Saskia with her auras.
Yeah.
I'd like everybody to know that I have a +6 to initiative, and I have a 10.
Love you, Gena. I love you so much.
I want our viewers at home to know that.
The dice saw how powerful Saskia is, and then we got to counterbalance that somehow with these dice rolls.
Mm-hmm.
God had to nerf Saskia.
Yeah.
And then
okay,
so I got 17. I got 10. What's the roll for Croak?
That is a total of 24.
Great.
Nice.
Okay. All right. And then let's see how long this we can say this combat is going on while the conversation is happening. Like literally other sides of this castle. A very calm diplomatic conversation versus what is far less than diplomatic. Nico got a 26 to his initiative. So Nico is going to head up this combat here.
That's fair. That's honestly valid.
plus 9 initiative.
Yeah.
Okay. So, as the tendons and neck muscles are tightening, you also realize that the rest of his body is also fluctuating somewhat. There seems to be a rippling beneath his skin with his muscular structure, and you would see that. Well, she would hear, I think, first bones cracking and shifting. I'm not going to get too body horror with this, but if you've ever seen The Howling, or if you have seen, oh shit, what was that Netflix series? It's on the tip of my tongue. Anyway, wolf mouth coming out of human mouth,
Gotcha.
and then very Van Helsing splitting.
Gross.
Yeah, no, he is a werewolf. He is going to shapeshift as a
God
bonus
damn it.
action, turning into a full hybrid wolf. Some of you may have seen werewolves before. He is sizably larger than any werewolf that you have seen. He is a large category werewolf. Okay, and with that, he is, well, with Fia right there, he is going to make his 2 attacks. He's going to make two rend attacks.
Okay.
Because he's not looking to bite at this point. So he's got a plus 12 to hit.
Oh, Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
So that's only a 14
trouble,
for the
fam.
first one,
That
and that's an
one is?
18 for the second.
Ooh, I don't have my weapon drawn currently, so that will hit.
Okay. So you're going to take 16 points of slashing damage.
Okey-dokey.
And you are now going to be prone. So he will basically push you down to the ground as well. That is going to be 16, 1-6. Yes. So that is it for his turn. Next up in the order is Croak.
Croak, seeing Fiach get slammed into the floor without a sound, he's going to draw his short sword and make a beeline for this guy approaching from the back. So I'm going to take a swing at him. I'll add a D4 as well from the Bless. Okay, that is a... Where's my short sword? That is an 18.
18 hits, absolutely.
Nice. Okay. So 1d6. Ooh, okay. That's 10 points of piercing damage with the silvered short sword.
Great.
And then I will follow up with a second attack, this one with advantage because of the Vex property. That is a 24.
24, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so now I gotta tally up all my dice. So that is D6 from the sword. I'm actually going to, before I calculate my damage, I'm going to expend one of my sneak attack dice and use one of the new rogue features. I'm going to use one of my sneak attack features. I can spend one of my d6 to make this a tripping attack. If it's large or smaller, it must succeed on a DC 16 dexterity saving throw or be knocked prone. So I'm gonna cutting at the back of his knees to try and knock him down.
It's got a +9 to his dex, to its dex saving throw, rolled a 10, so that's 19.
Okay, so then he succeeds. That's going to be 1 less d6 of damage. So that's going to be 2d6 for sneak attack, another d6 for my swarm. And, you know, why not? I think seeing that his sister is in danger, the big, beady Kenku eyes will flash this ghostly blue as the shadows being cast by the furniture and himself seem to grow up and actually reach up from the floor. I'm going to expend a use of Wails from the Grave and inflict an additional 2d6 necrotic damage.
Okay.
Oh, actually, no. That is actually for a creature within 30 feet of the first one, so I will not do that.
Gotcha.
Because there's
Okay.
only one target here.
No worries.
So, that's rolling. Okay, so that is going to be a total of 20 piercing damage.
Okay. With the silvered weapon?
Yes.
All right. Good hit. Anything else for your turn?
I will hold my position there.
Great. Okay. So in that case, let's see. He is going to... I think he's going to use a legendary action and do a surprise bite at Croak. So Croak taking the slashes from behind, he's going to whip around with blinding speed. Having knocked Fiach to the ground, he is going to do a surprise bite attack at Croak. So this is, again, a plus 12 to hit. That is an 11 on the die, so that is 23 to hit.
Yep.
And so, Croak, you are going to take 17 points of piercing damage.
Got it.
And 15 points of necrotic damage.
So that is 32 total? If my math
Yes.
is right? Okay.
Yes. And then I also need a Constitution saving throw.
Yes. One moment. Con save.
Is DC 18.
DC 18.
Mm-hmm.
That is a... dirty 20. I'll also roll
Great.
one for my concentration check.
Mm-hmm.
That is a 17, which I believe is more than half of...
Yeah, you're all good with that.
Okay, cool.
And you are able to avert the curse effect, which would have taken effect here. Great. Fiach, it is your turn. You are prone.
All right.
He has knocked you next to one of the tables. You've shattered a chair on your way down.
Great.
And you have... Let's kind of set the scene. We can put you all at what would be the north end of this dining hall. It's long. We could say maybe like 40 feet long, 20 feet wide. There are tables lining the center, and then on the west side of the map, there is a line of windows that reach from floor to ceiling, and you can see moonlight coming through those, and there are curtains as well. So that is what you have. There's nothing really adorning the tables. There's no plates or knives or anything like that. Just a lot of dust and general furniture. With that, half movement to get up, but otherwise, what would you like to do?
I would imagine, though, that he hasn't gone very far.
He is not.
Because Croak had come up to where we were.
Yeah,
Right,
absolutely.
so
Yeah, he has not moved very far.
Fiach sort of lifts off the ground a la Agatha in Agatha All Along in that move as she manifests her form of dread. And we see her face and form flash. It first looks like her, and then we get the image of the all red, bloodied woman, wings dripping in blood, and then we get the old, withered, all in white, long gray hair face and it cycles through that a couple of times, and I think we end up just landing on the one that looks closest to how Fiach looks, only her hair is now down, and it seems to have grown almost to the bottom of her feet, and her wings are much larger, and her talons and her all of her claws just get much longer and more menacing looking. And so that's my bonus action, is taking on that form of dread. And I'm going to reach out with that hand and cast Vampiric Touch on our good friend, which is
something he's used to.
Yes, I'm sure. And that is that's an 18 on the dice plus 9.
That'll do it. Yeah.
And I'm gonna use. I have that many d6. Actually, no. I would like to roll all the d6s because it's 5d6. 2, 3, 4. I am only slightly regretting having chosen all black ink for my long dog dice, but don't worry about it. You know. No, that'll do. That's 13 points of necrotic damage. And let me just double check something real quick on that form of dread, just not to make sure it doesn't add anything since it is necrotic. Let's see. I can make it. You know what? Sure, let's do this. It's gonna have to make a wisdom saving. Nico's gonna make a wisdom saving throw.
Is this for fear?
Yeah.
Is immune to fear.
Well, then never mind. It's
immune to the frightened condition.
Of course he is.
He growls at you as you have this shifting face, and he goes to grab at your throat, not mechanically, but just goes,
I've seen a lot scarier than you, pretty bird.
I will say, and I don't remember if werewolves are resistant to necrotic at all, or if he has anything special, but I ignore resistance to necrotic damage.
Cool. Yeah, his biggest thing is non-magical weapon attacks made that aren't silvered. So
right.
I think you are avoiding quite a bit of that.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I believe that is... Just double checking that there isn't anything else. Oh, I can roll one additional damage dice, actually. So hold on, there's one more. That's one of the things that I get to do as well. So yeah, throw in another 6 points of necrotic damage on top of that.
6 points of necrotic?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh, and I get half of that back.
Fantastic.
I don't remember what I said the total was. Shit.
You said 6 points of necrotic damage?
Plus the other one, plus the whatever I rolled before.
Oh, I lost that in my calculations. Let's see.
Sorry.
That was 13.
13 plus 6?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 19
that's right.
in total.
19 total, and I get half of that back for myself.
Cool. That's probably good because we're going to put that to use right now as he uses his next legendary action for a surprise bite at you. He's in a biting sort of mood. He's got a little bit of croak blood still on his teeth as he takes a bite at you. That is a 20 on the die. So this is going to be a crit attack. So he is going to do, let's see here. We'll do 4d8. Which is 27 points of piercing damage.
27, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right.
And then it is going to be... What's that? That's 32 plus... 32 points of necrotic damage.
And I have resistance to that. I'm fairly certain.
Great.
Especially...
So only 16 then.
Yeah.
But I do need a Constitution saving throw, and the DC is 18.
DC is 18 on a con save.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're in some range of me. You have a +4. I should have remembered this for Croak, and I did not.
On a saving.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're definitely within 10 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. You know what? I'm going to use my crit for that.
Great. Okay. Then you also save on the cursed condition.
Thank you.
And with that, we go to Saskia.
Considering I have 35 feet of movement, would I be able to back up until I am out of the silence spell?
Yeah.
It's only
Okay.
20-foot radius.
It's
Oh,
20
only
foot
20
radius.
foot
Yeah.
radius? Okay.
Yeah.
I will.
So you would only have to move. I mean, if you're okay, let's say you're 10 feet away from Nico at this point. You'd only have to move 5 feet, 10 feet to be out of that radius.
Okay. Yeah, I think
10
Saskia's
feet.
just going to back up until, like, it goes from, like, that dead silence to just normal silence.
Mm-hmm.
Because she needs a verbal component for this, and I'm going to cast Moonlight on Nico.
Okay, great.
He needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, he needs to make a con save first, and then we'll see. I'll read the rest, whether or not he against a DC 16.
Okay. He only got a 13, but he will use one of his 3-a-day legendary resistances to succeed on that.
Okay.
But doesn't he get... Well, he would get disadvantage, but he has legendary resistance anyway. So yeah, he'll use the legendary resistance.
Yeah. Either way, the Moonlight cylinder will be there. He will take blah blah. It's a long ass spell.
And he is a shapeshifter, so I know there's an extra component to that.
He's going to take 2d10 radiant. I don't have d10s out. And then half of 2d10 radiant, so he'll take 6 points of radiant damage.
6 points. Okay.
Yes. And it will stay there. It says, let me read this out because he has to keep making a save. When the cylinder appears, he has to make a con save, and then it says later a creature who then starts their turn needs to make the save again.
Great. Okay. Good to know.
And I do not have interesting bonus actions because they're all spells. I will move back in because it's concentration and I only needed the verbal component to move out. So I'll move back to where I was.
Okay. In that case, he is going to use his last legendary action for this turn order. He regains them all at the beginning of the next turn. But he will use a mauling charge, and he is going to go running not towards Saskia, but towards the window, and he is going to smash it out and go diving out the window.
And so he's running away from us?
He is running away. This is mauling charge. The creature moves up to half its speed without provoking opportunity attacks and makes one longsword or rend attack. So he is going to make a rend attack against the window. I will roll just in case, but it is a goddamn plus 12. That can't break a window. I don't know what can. And he rolled an 18, so I'm glad I used it for that.
Yeah.
Yes. You also know that, like, from where you're looking, he's diving off the cliff. He's not going onto the lawn outside. Mm-hmm. He's going out. And you see him smash the window outside of the moonbeam, and it is all of a sudden, like, you already have the silent spell, but it is silent. Can't even hear your own breathing or your heartbeats in this silent spell. And all you have to show from the battle is a few bite marks, some claw marks, a broken chair, some blood on the floor.
All right. I think. Go ahead.
If we're out of combat, I would like to drop the silence spell and then run over to the window just to see if I can get, like, eyes on him.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Oh, I want to do the same thing.
Sure.
I'm going to, while they're doing this, I'm going to cast Mending on the chairs real quick.
Okay.
Try and fix this up as much as possible.
That is a 21 perception for me.
Oh, I should... that is a... sorry. Perception. That's a 24 for me.
Great. Both of you go running to the shattered window, and you look down to this jagged cliffside, and far hundreds of feet down towards the water, you see an indicator, just like this rippling effect, indicating that something went into the water, but has not come back up yet.
Damn it. He really shouldn't have called Desiree a little bunny. That made me very angry.
Croak is trying to figure out how that works because, to his knowledge, Desiree is not a rabbit.
To his knowledge.
To his knowledge, not a Harengon. Something that is established in the world of Damaris, yeah. Yeah. Drow, Harengon, not the same. I agree with Croak. Let's go ahead and end there for the night.
Okay.
When we come back next time, consequences. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Harbingers. I am Derek Sword. Use he, him pronouns. I have been your GM and your GC, your game master and your guiding compass, as these Harbies navigate the treacherous seas of Damaris and mostly beyond, because most of them I literally don't believe they can swim. I'm not putting water anywhere near them at this point. I want to have these lovely people say more about themselves and where you can find more of them, and then we'll do some channel stuff and wrap up for the night. So stick around, because I got discount codes and all sorts of fun stuff for you, plus some channel news about what's coming up in the meantime. But before all of that, let's go ahead and go around. Abhishek, if you don't mind starting us out, where can we find more of your lovely self?
Yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Abhishek Patange. I use he, him pronouns. I have been playing our lovely Anubia warrior of the living weapon, Anubia. You can find me on the interwebs, most places, so Birdsite, BlueSky. You can find me there at Neon Raiden or Neon_Raiden, something along those lines. It might be a double underscore, I think, for Twitter, because, I don't know, it was weird like that. You can also find me on Instagram at Abhishek Patange VO. I'm a voice actor, TTRPG AP performer, and all-around lover of all things Tokusatsu, so Super Sentai, rest in peace, Ultraman, Kamen Rider, yeah, literally, if it's Tokusatsu, I'm gonna be a fan of it. As for other projects that I'm in at the moment, currently this is my only main project at the moment, so you can find me here on Fridays, playing Anubia at Sword and Key 4 Harbingers. I do have another project coming up at the moment. I cannot go into details just quite yet, but know that it is coming up. So I'll keep you posted on that on the socials when that does come up. So yeah, that's me.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Next up, we have Alex.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. My name is Alex. I've had a great time playing on this game tonight and for the foreseeable future. You cannot find me on the internet. I am chronically offline, and that's all I have to say. Bye.
It's must be a blissful life. I envy it. Next up, we have LD.
Oh, it's me. Hi, everybody. I'm Lady Dame, or LD. You can find me everywhere that's important on the internet at the Lady Dame. I've been so delighted to play Fiach and continuing to cause troubles. You can find me mostly. I'm just here on Sword and Key. I say just. I'm here on Sword and Key. You can find me on Tuesday nights playing Baldur's Gate 3, on Gate Night playing Baldur's Gate 3 with my friends Derek and Shadow. We're in the end game as we speak, so we're wrapping up it's a little over 2 years of playing Baldur's Gate together, which is very exciting. Obviously I'm here on Fridays playing Fiach of the Rowan, and I am also the co-host of the podcast Monster Crush, which I also get to do with Derek, because we hang out all the time, and it's so great. And it's a podcast about monsters, myth, and legend, cryptids, and all sorts of creatures. There we go. There's normally a better order that I say that in. And where we talk about whether or not they're smoochable. And we do have a new episode coming out this weekend, just in time for the 4th of July. It was really fun to record that one, so I hope you all check that out, especially wherever you find podcasts. And I think I do have something else coming up in the month of July. I don't know that it's been announced yet. And I don't remember. I think I don't know if I can. I know it's July 19th, and I think it's at 10 a.m. in what is usually the Eva and Anik's chaotic playthrough spot. As of right now, I believe is when that is scheduled for. And I want to say, I'm just gonna go for it. I think we're
Yeah,
playing...
you can say.
Yeah, great, perfect. I get to play in a new game called Candlelight Inquisition. I know it started with an in something. I have read through some of the rules. There's a lot there, but it's a new game, and we were given the chance to check that out and do a test playthrough of it, which is going to be very fun and exciting, and I'm thrilled to do that. So that's, I believe, all I have going on currently at the moment.
Yeah. I'll jump in here real quick. Will Fish, the creator of Candlelight Inquisition, was wonderful enough to do a Sword and Tea with us earlier in the year. And so if you want to learn more about that game, it is going live for its, I think it's going on Kickstarter. That will be in August. So this will be a game feature to show off what the game can do. It's great. It's spooky. It's gothic. It's got some psychic elements to it, some eldritch elements to it. Will was great to talk to, and it seems like a very fun game. So I'm very excited that we get to do this feature of the game. So definitely check that out and check out Candlelight Inquisition. Additional plug to tack onto that is Long Dog Dice, one of our affiliates, actually made dice sets for Candlelight Inquisition that are part of its like incentives that you can get as well. Wow. So they're pretty great. All the pips on it are eyes. They're pretty neat. So Jen was working on those pretty hard as well. So we've got a kind of a double layer partnership going on there. So yeah, definitely check them out. Fantastic. Next up is Rack.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, viewers of all pronouns, I have been Rakolai or Rakolai, no real preference on how to pronounce it. I'm just glad you are here. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I have played the role of everyone's favorite Kenku, almost werewolf, Croak. Not quite this time. Maybe in the future if we run into Nico again. When I'm not here on Sword and Key, you can find me on my own Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Rakolai. I usually stream on weekends. I build model kits, and if you want like a chill place to hang out and just relax, that's what I do. I also have an upcoming project towards the tail end of the month that has not been announced yet, so I think once I get the go-ahead to talk about that, I will say what it is. But until then, just keep an ear out.
Fantastic. And then last but absolutely not least, we have Gena.
Hi, I'm Gena, a terrible babysitter. I lost my ward. I've been playing Saskia. You can find me right now right here on this channel at this show. That's all I got right now. Fantastic.
It's a shame because Gena's absolutely fantastic. You should cast Gena in more stuff. But I'm also just going to say that that's just great for me because I get to spend time. Thank you so much to this cast. Thank you to LD for running tech. Thank you to Michael Sandoval for doing the artwork that you see on screen as well as in all of our promotional materials. Check out his stuff. He has socials on Instagram and BlueSky at MIKYLSANDVOAL. But you can also see all of his artwork on the Sword and Key Discord. We have a dedicated channel there for him to feature all of his cool stuff. He's doing a lot of Warhammer stuff right now. So, he also refuses payment. So if you like his stuff, we can get him some Warhammer stuff. That's how we'll figure this out. Thank you to you for joining us. Thank you to all of those of you who have been able to donate. Again, we play in support of the Trans Latina Coalition, and you can donate at any time, even when we're not playing. Any incentives that you were able to add to a game just get added to whatever the next game is, and we have a few more coming up. So definitely, if you got a couple extra bucks sitting around, throw them towards a great cause. I am Derek Sordes, he and pronouns. I have been your GM. If you want to find me, you can on socials, that's fine. But you should check out all of Sword and Key stuff. That's beacons.ai/Sword and Key has all of our links in one neat, nice place. That is BlueSky and Instagram for our socials. We also have links to join our Discord. Discord is I kind of ties for first. Beacons is really great. Discord is really great for community. You can find all of our stuff there as well. Discord also has our calendar. We have a link to our Google Calendar, as well as all of our events listed there as well. So it's really great to kind of keep up on stuff. If you want to check out some of our discount codes from some of our affiliates, check out Eldritch Foundry. They make custom minis, no matter how weird and wild or normal and wild your TTRPG character might be. Use code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase there, or use our affiliate link if you're going to be doing 3D printing. That gets you a 3-month subscription for only $19.99. If you are getting your perfect dice set, I recommend Long Dog Dice, who I've mentioned several times. They are balanced, frustratingly so. This is the Horizon's Call D6, which has the Sword and Key logo on it. It's pretty great. Jen makes dice fidgets. So they're D20s. They're perfectly usable as D20 and have a wonderful squish to them. You can get those. You can get glassware. You can get custom clothing with your D&D character on it. LD has a wonderful feature of a lot of the products there. And more coming down the line. Again, code Sword and Key for 10% off your first purchase with Long Dog Dice. If you are shopping with Hit Point Press, they make Humblewood and the Islands of Sina Una, animated spell cards, Heckna, If I Were a Lich Man, the Floral Dragon series. They've got tons and tons of stuff there. You really can't go wrong. We have an affiliate link. If you're purchasing from them, find that affiliate link on beacons.ai/Sword and Key. If you are getting your perfect cup of tea, check out Friday Afternoon Tea. Use code TheLadyDame for 10% off your order there. I personally recommend the official Sword and Tea or the Smut Tea, which LD helped create. But really, you can't go wrong. Find your perfect tea. There's tons of selections. You'll be spoiled for choice. If you are donating towards any of our other great causes, all of our philanthropies links are also listed on Beacons. And you can also find links to the podcast that LD and I do together, Monster Crush. It is a bi-weekly bisexual panteratophilic podcast, Monster Love and Celebration, that does celebrate cryptids, creatures, and miscellaneous monsters from myth and how smoochable they are. So yes, we do have an episode coming out this weekend. It is our Fearsome Critters to celebrate some American monsters at a time when celebrating America is itself kind of goofy and weird and surreal. Fearsome Critters fall into those categories quite succinctly. If you are looking for all of our other stuff, let's take a look over at our calendar real quick. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time is a special episode of the Indigo Nexus. It is pre-recorded character feature. That is our Invisible Sun campaign. So check that out at 10 a.m. Pacific time. After that, at 3 p.m. Pacific time is the next episode of Horizon's Call. That is raising money for Feeding America. Harbingers is a spinoff of Horizon's Call. And in Horizon's Call, they have just defeated the devil, saved an entire civilization from damnation. They have granted one of the characters a paladin oath once again. Like they won D&D. So get to see the aftermath of all of that as they get to figure out like what happens after you win the big battle. The book doesn't end, and certainly our stream doesn't either. On Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific time is Gate Night. That's where LD Shadow and I play Baldur's Gate 3 currently, but not for too much longer. The only video game streamed here on Sword and Key. And then Harbingers is back on Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. That is it for the calendar right now until, as LD was mentioning, coming up towards the later part of the month on the 19th will be the feature of Candlelight Inquisition, but we'll have more details about that as we get closer. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you for hanging around. Thank you for donating. We hope to see you again sooner rather than later. But regardless, until then, take care of yourselves, take care of others, and fair winds following seas. Big stick. Bye, everybody.
Bye.